Three, two, one. Let's go! Ranko Bianco! Come on, man.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
how we doing?
Back on the show. We've already done
a show favorite.
a fan favorite of ours.
Yes.
A favorite of the fans.
A favorite of the people.
He's
a man of the people.
He's the man. Dude, that could be so more inaccurate. 100%.
I'm the nicest guy I know. I don't know what you're talking about.
We constantly go back and listen to that show we did in the past and just laugh, man. We had such a great time with you and Baby Girl.
Oh, yeah.
The Faskin guys have just been awesome to us, man. We had Stoney on the show.
Right.
And the reason why we really want to do a show with you is several reasons. You are truly doing something really special with veterans and your nonprofit organization that you run right there out of Midland.
Right.
You're involved in the societies. You're absolute success story in the industry, and you are the geophysicist for the Faskin Oil and Ranch.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
Bloomberg just published that article talking about Faskin.
$7 billion asset.
Yeah. I'm going to leave that article alone. I'm not even going to touch that thing.
Okay.
I'm smart enough.
We had a fantastic time with Stoney on the show after your show, and then we had Jumper on the show. So Dawson did the acquisition of the Sea Ranch and the Fairfield. We had Fairfield last night. So we tying this all together. You're the end user of what is going to be the highest fold, the craziest shoot to ever happen in the Midland Basin. It happened because of you. It happened because of Faskin was committed. And now it's coming together, and you are the end user of this incredible product that's about to hit the Permian.
That's a blessing, man.
I mean, talking with Bruce last night, this is going to change the way we develop in the Permian, right?
That's the whole goal, yeah. Honestly.
Just truly optimize Faskin Oil and Ranch. That's the other thing.
Well, it's not just...
Get on this mic.
It's kind of like, in that article that when they describe how Faskin does business, we're not chasing IPs, we're not doing things for the short term. This company's been around. The family has been invested in the Permian Basin for 100 years, and they're going to continue to do that. Because of that, we get the time. They allow us to take the time to do the science, get it figured out, and do it right.
Do a look back. Let's
not go in and destroy it.
You're not chasing these lease obligations, expirations dates or anything like that. It's the true way oil and gas needs to be developed.
Well, it's hard for some companies to do that. I mean, they have investors that expect certain things, and they have to ride those ebbs and flows, and it's tough.
Yeah.
We just have a special opportunity where it's a lot of foresight in the family that set it up to where we can do not necessarily slow and steady like that article said. I mean, we're really active. I mean, we're typically 70, 80 wells a year. Just nice, steady going through, doing things the right way, and learning along the way.
Is that you guys at the 191 and the 250 loop? That rig that's stacked up right there? Is that
some
you?
Chick-fil-A? Yeah.
You want some Chick-fil-A? That's the Faskin Oil and Ranch Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, those are the Manor Park wells.
Okay. That's going right under That's going out right under my house, too.
Actually, it is. Yeah.
Dude, you're welcome. It's truly a fascinating story, man. I think we've captivated certainly the followers of our show, and certainly Icon Live has picked up on. There is something truly happening. It's really special happening in the Permian Basin. You're involved with that. Well, let's get to that at the end of this thing. Right now, I really want to talk about how you are impacting the lives of the veterans, man, through the Iron Freedom Foundation. It's an unbelievable foundation. You're the founder of. What's the success story on that, man? Where it started. Now you got sponsors, Five Kayak, and
Yeti.
Yeti.
Everyone's hopping on board because it's for the cause, right?
It is, and I think the only reason that we're exponentially growing as fast as we are is that people see from day one that 99 cents of every dollar goes straight to the veterans. We don't see it at all. We don't have any overhead for personnel, anything. That 1 cent of every dollar pays for our website fee.
Nice,
that $10 a month. That's it. Everything else goes directly to them. We don't take anything. And that was the design, is if you give these guys the opportunity to be in charge of their own destiny, you give them the timeline to grow and heal as they need it, instead of some of the larger organizations, which I don't like saying anything negative about, but they have a system set up where you get in a lottery to go on these trips, and they build a brotherhood that's nationwide. And which is outstanding, because you can call guys up when you need it that are in other states and all that, and that's beneficial, but we get guys only in local areas. And instead of taking a guy to Africa, let him shoot an elephant, take a bunch of pictures, you feel like a hero again, you're puffed up, you're good to go. It's not long after you get back home to Conroe, Texas, or wherever you're at, that it all starts setting back in. That
it's
you
right
have
back
these
where you started.
Beautiful ranches and all this stuff, and they kind of drop you back off, and you've got nothing left when you get back home, and the depression will kind of set back in.
Absolutely, man.
So we take the guys out. We teach them how to kayak, how to fish, how to hunt, or where to hike, and we take them, show them where the public lands are, so they can go out anytime they want to. And at the end of every trip, they are issued all that gear to take home.
Yeah,
with
dude.
guys on the trip that they can call and say, hey, you don't have to call if you're in Texas, call a guy from New Jersey. You just call the guy who was on the trip.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to
man,
go
can we get
again? You got a
beer?
weekend free?
It's not even just that. It's, hey, man,
Yeah,
can we get like a drink after work? I just need to talk. And you just went through, when we take these guys on the Devil's River, and we've got tier 3, tier 4 rapids, and it beats the hell out of you. Every one of us comes out with scars and rock rash and all that. You have to rely on each other, and it builds that brotherhood, which is what most of us miss from conflict, is just having that other person to watch your back. And you get back here, everybody goes back to their states and their cities, and we try to stay together, but it's really hard.
Yeah.
So I think that's why Yeti, Shiner Bock, Devil's River Whiskey, all these people are really pumping in. Icon Geophysical, Martin Hargrave gave us a personal donation that took that personally paid for 2 guys on our second trip. And both those guys were
That
original
is awesome.
03, 04
really
Marines.
cool,
I mean, these guys went through a lot of stuff, and that every one of those guys when we got back just thanked us profusely for the opportunity.
Wow.
Just to be back in that environment. So
Well, dude,
we couldn't be more grateful.
Oh, dude, and we can't either, man, because we absolutely care about the lives of the veterans that go out there and fight for our freedom, man. And you're doing it boots on the ground, literally, with these guys, and provided this thing. And it's a good segue into exactly what else is going on, which is the SEG is one thing, international. It's massive. We have all countries here today talking about how are we getting this step change, how are we finding these next solutions, all that stuff. We're here. But you're back in Midland as the president of the PBGS, the Permian Basin Geophysical Society president, and it's that local thing again. So we're going back local. You're inspiring the local geophysicists, and then you're also here. Right? I mean, in theory, Bronco is inspiring the geophysicists locally.
I am inspiring, yes.
And you're getting them here. SEG, I mean, it goes back to speaking about how these things are successful. You have to have successful, good local societies as well.
We do. So the Permian Basin Geophysical Society has always been a little tough, because everybody's always coming in from out of town. There's never been a solid presence for us in the Permian. And it's understandable because it wasn't the hot play for a while. So you want to send your guys out to chase new clients and all that. But coming in as president this year, I have a great board of guys and girls that are helping out. This year is going to be awesome for talks. If anybody's looking to sponsorship, our membership's growing. It's a great opportunity to get some exposure out there. But the only main task I gave them this year was let's do not necessarily less new technology talks, but more case studies.
Yeah, dude.
We don't get enough talks.
Everybody agrees.
I mean, I would like to make it to where you're excited for these lunches, because when you get done with lunch, you want to get back to the office because damn, that was a good idea.
Yeah,
I need to get back as soon as I can and see how I can apply
Cut
that to my
the
day to day,
yep.
instead of falling asleep or just being like, well, it's
Right.
another
like
downhole
classic,
tool.
Yeah, it's like
Nice.
the classic sales talk, right? There's no
offense
actual.
to the hundreds of downhole people surrounding us that can hear us right now. Your products are all great.
But, dude, it's true, man. It's true. Everybody says the same thing. So it's absolutely true. We need more case studies. And that as a president, you have the ability to inspire that and to put that pressure on the operator as an operator yourself.
Right.
I mean, you lead by example. So that's what we're doing, man. That's why we're here. We're pushing that along.
Yep.
We're putting the pressure up against everybody. And so now let's switch it to exactly that. We have new plays. We probably have 100 new plays. We don't know yet. In 50 years, we'll know. But right now, there seems to be new development in deeper, unconventional rocks in the Midland Basin.
Right.
On the platform, out of the basin, in the basin. We have these crazy muds and these high TOC things that are delivering hydrocarbon economically to the wellbores. And that's happening off of an old data set. That's happening off of data that hasn't been viewed through the eyes of Icon software. Now, that data is now being collected at a crazy amount, magnitude, 10 times the magnitude of normal shoots in the Permian Basin.
Right.
Fairfield's processing it. Dawson, the best of the best, is shooting it. The end user of Fasken is looking at it. You're using Icon software to visualize and make these decisions. And now, even with old data, they're discovering new things and new zones to go horizontal in, and it's working.
Right.
And now, for the first time, we're going to have this crazy fold, this resolution in the Permian Basin that's never been seen before.
Right.
And I'm thinking you're going to trickle the success around the ranch, right into the ranch, and you're going to have just unbelievable amount of reserves calculated for the family of Fasken here in the near future.
Right. That's the beauty of working for the Fasken family is we don't, we're only in the business of selling a product, a commodity, right?
Yeah.
We explore for hydrocarbons and we put those in a pipeline and make money from that.
That's right.
So it doesn't matter if the reservoir is 3,000 feet or 13,000 feet. If we can find a way to get it out that still makes money, then let's do it. And as a scientist, you can't ask for a better company than that. It's total freedom. But because of that, a lot of the 3Ds that were shot are very specific. And geophysics in this industry is hard. We don't have the biggest budgets. And a lot of engineering shops kind of see it as a fringe thing. So if you could spend a third of what you should on the acquisition to get reservoir properties and all that stuff, just to get a product that you can land wells on, they're always going to do that. Because the added value of that extra cost hasn't been shown yet.
Right.
And so a lot of our geophysicists are just steering wells. I mean, these are brilliant guys that could be doing really amazing work, figuring out the true answers, how to get better EURs and everything, but they're landing wells every day.
Right.
Like
Just
doing operations geology. And
9 to 5, sometimes up until 2,
that.
3 in the morning, man. And
That's
I mean,
just
and
it.
they're just beat up.
That's
They're
just
beat
it.
up after a long day like
Well,
that.
and the problem is they can't go into a meeting and show their own worth, right?
Right.
With the new data they want.
Right.
And I honestly ran my mouth for like a year and a half, and every time there was a problem, I was like, I could totally fix that. Totally fix
So
that.
you're talking about
Give me a
you're
bunch of
sitting
money,
in
I
a
got
room, there's a panel of engineers, they're telling you guys what they need and how they're going to develop these assets, and they run into stumbling blocks, and you're like, I could fix those. Every opportunity
Give me the
you
data
got-
and I can do all this.
Yeah, every opportunity you got to say I could fix these problems, you
That's
took
it.
that and you vocalized it in the group, in that setting, probably pissed off a bunch of people.
It's all right.
But that's
It's my
what's
job.
led us here. That's
Exactly.
my job.
Well, and that's
That's-
part. Well, and not to sidetrack it again, but that's part of the problem too. Is a lot of people in these technical positions aren't speaking up in those meetings, right?
Right.
You have
Yeah.
geologists who have this awesome project in front of them, but because the engineers are the ones that control the budget and they're the ones that control the room, they don't say anything.
Right.
Yep.
But it's a hard sell because you a lot of and this goes back all the way to Icon. Like it comes full circle for all of us. Icon's getting the same old data sets that are used to land wells, and then you come to them as a client and say, well, here's this old data. I want you to figure out exactly where I'm going to drill, what the pressure looks like, where the hydrocarbons are, how all the volumetrics and everything, and they do the best work that they can.
Right.
But when they get the products back and you drill 5 wells where they said to, and all of them aren't economic as they said they were, then you go back to all these companies and your boss is like, well, you're not spending that money ever again.
Right.
That's a fringe thing. And that's happened so much to us that this is where we are, where we're all fighting. We know we can do it. You just have to put it together. And I mean, for me, it was just
Very
persistence and working for a company with the foresight and the planning to do that. Because I mean,
Right.
eventually in one of those meetings, I was sitting there just talking trash right in my mouth, and finally they were just like, all right, do it then. And I
Doing
was
what
just
you
like,
do best.
look at
Doing what
pucker
you
up
do
a little
best.
bit. But I think that's what we're going to get.
Disgusting.
But I think that's what we'll get out of it. And we're our hope is to publish and get this out for everybody.
Dude.
I understand there's a lot of secrecy when you're in a play where there's a lot of land for sale and available, and if you find something new, you want to make sure you can get that locked up before anybody else gets
That's
in.
right. That's not where we're at.
It's not like that anymore.
No.
No.
Yeah.
When
Too
things are
many
going
people
for
have bought
60,
everything up.
70, $80,000 an acre, and
Right,
they're
right.
in
Right.
these huge term leases, they got
Right.
continuous development. That's not going anywhere.
We're not, man. And we approach all of our offset operators with the same mentality as, man, look, we're not trying to buy you. Why don't we put our heads together and figure this out?
Yeah.
If we're all making better wells,
Yeah.
then the whole basin's doing better.
Right.
We don't need to
Exactly
keep undercutting each other all
They're
the
not,
time
not
and
trying to do
drilling
that.
bad wells.
The
Right.
lease line
You know?
protection stuff where you're just
Wow.
drilling as
Yeah.
many wells as you can. Oh, we don't like
Oh, yeah.
operator X next to us. We're
You're
gonna
not draining our
Exactly.
we're
reservoir.
gonna drain every
Exactly.
zone next to them.
No.
Get as close to that lease line as we can.
It's too short-sighted. It doesn't make any sense.
Wow.
So, I mean, we, with the help of Bruce Carr, Icon, Fairfield, I mean, everybody that's
Right.
involved in this thing, we've pretty much given everybody show rights to, from Dawson, just showing the sweep testing we did, which had really, really amazing results on not only converted wave, but also true, like, shear-to-shear 9C that we can
Right.
put out so people, when they're doing these doing their own better acquisitions. They'll have the stuff that's just free information to kind of learn from.
They could see it. Dude, is it simultaneous sourcing?
No.
Okay.
No.
That was a question. I don't know if I told the guy.
I think we
yes
said
or not.
yes. No, I'm like 90% sure we
We're
said
like,
yes.
oh, yeah,
of course. Yeah, we know the acquisition parameters.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I meant yes.
Dude, so I think more importantly than our ability to go horizontal and put fracks away and develop this Permian Basin the way that we're doing, I think the most important thing that could be happening in this basin when we all look back at the end of our careers is that Fasken was there. Fasken had the ability to do this, and then also they hired Ronco Bianco that said we're
Like
giving
I said,
this back.
amazing foresight.
I mean, and then the
identifying
legend
that.
Glenn Winters was there before.
Glenn
correct?
Yes, he was.
Winters.
Yes, he
Glenn
was.
Winters was there. One of the most
Stoney.
respected
You're right.
geophysicists
Oh,
in the
absolutely.
Permian.
Right.
And then now you're stepping into those shoes, unfortunately.
And you're
for
giving
Fasken.
it
But
back, dude. He's giving it back.
Well,
That's the point.
It's not
giving
like it's
it
free.
back.
It's we all benefit.
Right.
There's not a monetary value to any of this, but it also helps if the bigger shops would get together and do that kind of thing. Then it allows if that's the way acquisitions are done now, then the smaller shops can start buying better data to do better wells because they don't have the money or the means to build their own acquisition.
Yeah.
So they're stuck with all these multi-client shoots.
Yeah.
or their
So if
acreage
we
is just so
can push
scattered,
it-
there's no point in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of mom and pops in Midland that have nice contiguous acreage.
Yeah.
But they're not going to put a whole shoot together themselves.
Yeah.
And they rely on the rest of us to put those shoots together so they have something quality to buy to sell to their own management. And right now they just don't. So we're trying to fix it. Is that ice guy bothering you?
Yes.
Troy has a phobia. Troy has a phobia of ice. Oh god.
Dude, so
Is he
here's,
digging for a
here's the
Corona for
deal.
me? Is that what he's doing?
Here's oh yeah, that's true. That there is another Corona that is needed in the booth right now. Listen, Icon Live, we're saying it for the
Yes,
first
sir.
time.
Yes, sir.
When that time comes, and I think it's Q1, maybe Q2 of 2020 is a realistic timeline that you're going to actually have some good results.
The data's back.
Data's back.
Oh, Q4 is when the data's going to get back.
When are we
No,
going
I
to
was
get some
saying
results, some interpretations, some inversions, something
There-
to look at?
This is, thank you very much. This is going to have a lot of background work. For the time data, we'll have a product out here pretty quick, probably end of Q1.
Okay.
That's what Bruce said.
Here's what I'm going to make a deal with you.
Okay.
All the talks and all the presentations that are about to come from this can only be shown through our platform. We do it together.
No.
We do it live.
I see how it is, man.
No.
We do it with a bucket of beers.
Okay, I'm listening.
At some point, we're going to say yes. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that, man. We are going to provide this information, these interpretations, this new visualization, these new tools that are actually driving new results and better results.
Right.
We are going to give these presentations. The future is absolutely bright. The
Right.
future of success is high. I mean, we're super excited,
Yeah.
man. We can't, obviously
dude.
huge fans of yours and friends, and we cannot wait to see what you do with this, man.
Absolutely, man.
Thanks for sharing these mics on Icon Live.
Let's do it.
I still wish I had a nice microphone. I got
All
the
right,
first
that-
act
that's stank
microphone. Y'all
breath,
got the
man. We
fancy
can't
ones. No, man, it's going to be great. Honestly, I think by the time this thing's done, for better or worse, everybody's going to learn something.
100%.
And everybody's going to, I mean, from academics all the way up to industry.
Yeah.
100%, man.
And that would not.
Where
none
do
of
I
this
need to
would've
go?
happened.
Where do I need to go get my PhD to look at that data? By the way,
You need to finish your master's first.
hey, 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Heard that
2 weeks. I haven't seen your thesis,
that
and I'm on
2
your
months ago.
committee, so you ain't graduated in
Iron
2 weeks.
shots.
My ass.
Iron shots.
yeah.
We're gonna send it right now.
These are facts. Yeah, it's coming now. All right, man. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for sharing the
Hey,
mic
thanks for
and doing
inviting
this
me,
again, man.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks for giving me a chance to talk about IFF and the stuff that we're doing in the Permian, man.
Yeah.
With geophysics and our veterans.
Right.
And we have a clay shoot October 4th coming up.
nice.
We've got the singer-songwriter for Corey Morrow. Miss Texas is going to be there. Shinerbach, Devil's River Whiskey. We've got great sponsors. Midland
Hell yeah,
PD, Midland Fire Department.
Wow.
Everybody's coming out.
Come on.
We're local. We're community.
Wow,
and so
dude.
we want people that are living and working there to come out to this thing and
Well
benefit.
done. Well done, sir. Well done.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Thanks again, man.
Thanks
We're
for the
out.
invite.
And we out.
Later.